Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our podcast, Discover AIG Multinational Latin America. I'm Eric Ramos, multinational head for Latin America and the Caribbean. Do you want to know more about multinational? Stay tuned with us. Today's episode is about issuing offices, local expertise in action. But before we go to that, I would like to introduce you to our invited guest, Fernanda Guzman from AIG. Welcome, Fernanda. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thanks, Eric, for having me. I'm very excited to be here today. My name is Fernanda Guzman, and I have been working for AIG for over 16 years. In my current role, I oversee our operations across Latin America, managing the portfolio for Chile and Colombia as a network partner practice manager, relationship manager out of the Miami office. In this role, currently, I am AIG primary point of contact for my assigned territories, for my network partners, and my main function is to coordinate between all stakeholders and, of course, deliver and support AIG multinational business across the region.
In your perspective, how do issuing offices ensure policies comply with local regulations?
Good question, Eric. Like issuing offices play a very critical compliance role. They need to make sure all policies are issued in that particular jurisdiction, like meet all the legal and all the regulatory requirements of that country. We have several key aspects we need to discuss today. Local regulation expertise. The IO teams need to be very engaged with the legal team in each territory. They need to be experts within regulation, policy wording reviews, also regulation and filings and approvals from the regulator for the wordings, and finally, tax compliance. I think that's also a very important part of complying with the regulations. Issuing office, usually they act as the insurer local compliance gatekeepers. So they need to adapt, they need to review, and they need to complete all the filing processes of every policy that is issued in that market.
Thanks for the explanation. Next question. What challenges arise when aligning master policies with local requirements?
This is a very common and it's important issue in all international programs. We have regulatory differences. Each country has unique laws, so we need to take accountability for that. We need coverage consistency. The master policy often offers like broader coverage than the local policies in the countries. There, we need to align limits, wordings, we have exclusions, and we need to stay compliant in every territory. So that's the most important thing. We also have some legal and language interpretations in various countries in LAC. Mainly, we need to receive all the information in Spanish to make sure we align. Also, we have an issue or a challenge with taxes and premium allocations. They need to comply with the regulator, and also premiums need to comply with the risk in each country.
Excellent. And now a final question for you, Fernanda. How do issuing offices collaborate with producing offices?
This is another key point, I think, for all multinational program. Issuing office and producing offices work hand by hand. The PO designs the programs, provide like a global coverage, while the issuing office makes the things happen or the magic happens in the country. They adapt to the policies so that they can comply locally and with the regulation, with the laws in each country. I think the most important part between IO and PO is pre-bind work. That for me is key. IOs, POs should have like very close contact whenever we have a big account coming or a new account, a renewal. We need to align terms, review allocation, taxes, and coordinate that the policy wording also is aligned. I think it's all about balancing really global consistency with local compliance, because making sure the client receives what he paid for, that's the most important thing in our territories.
I agree. We're almost at the end of our episode, but I would like to hear your final thoughts, Fernanda.
I think like global programs have become more complex in nowadays, and issuing offices are moving or shifting from being just like an administrative hub. They're a strategic partner right now, all the issuing offices. They have expertise in regulation, in compliance, local market practices, and all that enables to have local global alignment, Issuing offices ensure that what we promise globally actually gets and works locally. When we communicate well, we stay aligned, and we deliver better outcomes for our clients globally. And that's ultimately what we want for our multinational businesses.
Well, thank you, Fernanda, for being our guest today on our episode of Discover AIG Multinational Latin America podcast series. Let me remind our listeners to subscribe, to stay tuned for new episodes, and subscribe to our AIG Latin America YouTube channel. Thank you for listening, and see you soon.